So this is not just for Indians, for any immigrants who are migrating to English-speaking countries like America, UK, or even Australia. So when we are making plans to move to these countries, there can be many intimidating factors. English, the language can be one of them, at least for some people. And this is particularly true for people who are not native speakers of English or most of your formal education, including college, maybe in your mother tongue. I'm one of the prime examples. Significant portion of my education was in my mother tongue Telugu. At the same time, this is not any spoken English course channel. I am an Indian immigrant settled in America, and I share my insights of a journey of migration in this channel. When it comes to Indians and English, or even immigrants and English, many of these stand-up comedians pick on the accent. They do excellent job, and it creates a lot of fun. Even I enjoy it too. But let me tell you one thing. This is not about accent. If you have a list of things to work on your English, accent, I would say, in some way will be the last thing to worry about. Let me give you a real-time example. I work as an emergency radiologist, and whenever I see a critical finding in the scans, one of the jobs is to call the clinical team in the emergency room and inform them about the findings of the patient. So one day in the hospital, I called the emergency room. I asked for patient Tang. They said there is no such patient and they hung up on me. I called them again, a patient Tang. They said no such patient and hung up on me. Again, I called them third time. This time, I did not ask them the name. I asked them with the ID number, the patient's number, and they said, "Oh, you mean patient Yang? We have it. What's going on?" So then I discussed the findings with them and we took care of the patient. This was a real incident and happened exactly 12 or 13 years ago. And what did you understand from this? It is not the accent which really caused some confusion on that day, but it is the pronunciation of the patient's name which caused the whole confusion. Of course, I use this example to make you understand my point about pronunciation, but the names can be pronounced differently in different cultures. But here it is not the name. Young is also a word in English. So the first thing here for students, we do a lot of homework to improve our English skills. In 2007 and 2008, I used to live in Tanzania, watch the television, turn my head and listen to the news so that I can follow the conversations better. And nowadays, there are a lot of resources online as well as in-person individual spoken English courses. Whatever way you're trying to improve your English skills, when you're putting your ducks in a row, the first priority should be given to the pronunciation. The first duck should be the pronunciation. So let me be very honest here. When I was self-training myself by listening to the television, most of my focus was on the accent. Of course, I did not get the accent anyway, and it caused further stress in my training course. So for any of the immigrants who are struggling in this journey, most of your energy should go towards learning the pronunciation and then phonetics, how the syllables sound, and giving a pause at the right intervals. So if you practice this, there will be more clarity and confidence in your language, and that's where you can start the journey from. Definitely, I missed those basics during my self-learning phase, and as I said, I work as a radiologist, and now I talk a lot into the PowerScribe to make my dictations, even working with a machine. It will be the correct pronunciation of the words that helps the machine to recognize your voice better, and it cares less about your accent. And moving on, the second thing, construction of sentences and speaking in English relatively fluently. One fundamental mistake we all do, the people who are not native speakers of English, or for a significant portion of our learning, we are connected to our mother tongue. So whenever we are trying to speak about something or write something, we start thinking in our mother tongue and then translate it in English. So it not only takes more time for the transformation, it also confuses the mind in many ways. So once I realized this, I started talking to myself and making conversations with me in English. This concept took a little while to understand how to process things in English and how to think in English. But once you understand the concept, you have to practice it more and more and then start to implement it. For example, when I was in Tanzania, some of our patients used to be coming from Europe and American embassy. So I used to talk not only the patient related clinical stuff, can pick some random topics to talk, and you become more comfortable even before moving to these countries. And another thing which I noticed after moving to US is talking to kids in English also helps a little bit. Some of the Indian parents may not agree with me, but everybody is different. Everybody works their things differently. Personally, it helped me. One is you will be more careful when you're talking to your kids, and also they will add more vocabulary to your language, and they will correct your pronunciation. They won't hesitate to correct you. And also, they will add some cultural context to your language, which can be useful when you're talking to your colleagues. And most importantly, if your accent is horrible, they will point out. But however, this is not an episode on accent. We will talk about accent and my thoughts on accent on a different episode. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful time. It's just another day in paradise.